I love my teammates and everyone who showed me grace and believed in me. I gave the Bucs everything I had on the field. What the organization is doing now needs to be cleaned up. I do not understand how people publicly claiming to be concerned about my mental health can do these things to me in private. Once my surgery is complete, I'll be back to 100% and looking forward to next season. Business gonna be booming. We've heard that one before. Okay, it's worth noting that Brown tweeted out alleged text messages between himself and Bruce Arians to corroborate his story. But all that aside, Damien, does AB still have a future in the NFL?
I do. Okay. Because as Dan knows this as well, talent trumps everything. Yeah. Okay? We've seen guys throughout the National Football League that's, committed egregious offenses and all those type of things. But if the talent level meets that need, there will be teams out there desperate enough to go and acquire the talent. And we know how talented AB is. Okay, it's apparent. All you got to do is open your eyes and watch AB out there play. Even when AB is not 100%, he is still one of the best wide receivers that we have in the National Football League. And that's what this league is all about. It's all about procuring and acquiring talent. Yes, is he a headache? No question about it. Does he come with baggage? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, when you talk to team execs, coaches, all those players, all those type of things, what matters most? Winning. Yeah. Winning matters most. Winning is the ultimate cure-all, okay? And teams are in the business of acquiring talented players. And so I do think there's going to be a team, probably multiple teams, probably next year in 2022, that's going to look into and probably get AB on one of their rosters because, quite frankly, he's still playing at a high enough level where teams feel like he could be part of the process of winning football games and ultimately trying to get to a championship.
Yeah, D. Wood, my initial inclination is to agree with you. We've been around the NFL long enough that nothing surprises me and nothing shocks me. So my initial thought is, yeah, he's going to play football again. But I think my answer is a little bit unknown because we don't know exactly what's going to come from this situation. Like, this is a really real situation, so to speak. And there is, again, strong allegations from Antonio Brown against the general manager, against the head coach, and against the organization. So we're going to figure out, or hopefully figure out, who's telling the truth. Is it Antonio Brown or is the organization? And again, I said this in the first hour, I think they need to dispute this and everything that Antonio Brown is saying about them if it's not true. How much self-implosion does Antonio Brown go down, right? Like, because the use of Twitter and he's sending out all these private conversations, he's putting his bank account information on. It is going to shrink the amount of teams that are willing to deal with you, no matter how good you are, with the amount of self-implosion that you kind of expose yourself to. And then also, I think, how much public exposure is he going to put the organization through? Like, how much is he going to actually reveal about those conversations? Because if he buries them, and again, if he's proven to be telling the truth and all that he shares is factual, that's going to be difficult, I think, for NFL teams and owners to kind of accept, whether we like that or not. And so I think it's how much self-implosion does he go through? How much does he try to actually bury the Buccaneers? How much does he bury a guy like Bruce Arians and Tom Brady and Jason Licht, their general manager? And I think the teams that might be interested have to look at it and say, not only could the greatest quarterback and one of the, if not the greatest leaders in the history of sports, Tom Brady, get him to focus again and lock in again for another 6 or 7 week stretch, another Super Bowl championship couldn't either. And another $1 million of incentives within his contract couldn't either. And I think that has to factor into those teams in making that decision as well.
Yeah, listen, Dan, I'm not disputing any of that, but here's what I'm going to say. What's one of the worst things probably the worst thing you could do as a player is quit on your team.
Yes.
We've seen that. We've seen AB do that in Pittsburgh, where he refused to go into the game, his last game wearing a Steelers uniform.
Right.
We essentially saw him quit against the Oakland Raiders. Okay? He moves on to New England. That situation blows up. And then we see him move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Think about it. Damn, if any other player just quits, that's usually it. Your career is done. Right. It's over.
Right.
It's over. The fact that AB has gotten chance after chance after chance after chance only reinforces what I said earlier. The fact that regardless of the baggage that Antonio Brown brings, and he brings plenty, he is still a supremely talented wide receiver.
Right.
And everyone sees that. And ultimately, again, at the end of the day, teams are in the business of winning.
Right.
They want to win, regardless of the warts that you have on you. And that is what ultimately leads me to believe in 2022, there's going to be an executive or another one that's going to stick their neck out and say, I can contain this beast. Because, Dan, you and I both know this. There are so many people in the National Football League, particularly front office coaches, that have egos. They think they can, if I get my hands on him, I can change him. I can control him. And someone's going to fall prey to that next year. I guarantee you, because the talent is still so good.
Talent breeds toleration, right? So we know that, and that's to your point. I would say still, I disagree that it's a home run, like a no-brainer, because if it comes out that he is embellishing, fabricating, making this stuff up, and what he's saying did not happen, and there's evidence and proof from the organization, I don't think there's any chance that any team signs Antonio Brown moving forward. If this comes out that he is, again, not telling the truth and making this stuff up and lying, his NFL career is done.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.